Damn this weather. It's the captain's fault. I wasn't even supposed to be walking perimeter tonight. But as soon as the sky opens up, I get sent out here to be soaked to the skin. I'm telling you, Captain's got it in for me.
Stop complaining. Would you rather be posted to the front lines defending the coast against the Herons?
When you put it that way. You heard about the landing?
The garrison we lost. What you expect with Prince Court in charge. He's even headed for a royal,
But he's no soldier.
No, he's no soldier. Say what you want about Prince Braun, but I'd rather have him at my back than his brother when swords are drawn. I hear the Herons are hunkered down in the fortress they took, waiting for reinforcements before they try to advance.
The coast is as far as they'll get, I guarantee you. No Heron will ever set foot in Raven Keep.
Hurry, Ethan. The guards will be back soon.
You worry too much, Skink. We'll be long gone by the time they make their rounds again.
Then let's hope they're not too observant when they come back. We'll be gone, but so will the train gate.
What brings you here, my son?
Hello, Father.
It's not a fit night, Braun.
No, it isn't. The storm rages.
You haven't answered my question. What brings you to my study? Usually, you can't be separated from my Shen side.
I've been thinking about the future. My future.
Ah, the future. Such thoughts must run in our family. I retired to my study to ponder the very same thing. My future, your future, our dynasty's future. I grow concerned for this kingdom our family has built. I want to be certain all we have achieved will continue when I am no more. I'm sure these are the thoughts you share, Braun.
The weight of history is a heavy thing, Father. We trace our lineage in a direct line, an unbroken succession from parents to eldest child, dating back centuries. It's always been so. I have known from the time I was a child that the responsibility for the throne, for the future of the Raven Dynasty would be mine. It is my birthright. I held that knowledge close and prepared myself for it every day of my life. And yet you would place Ashley on the throne rather than me.
So, the walls truly do have ears.
Why would you do this to me, Father?
Because the responsibility of true power is far different than the simple exercise of authority.
The throne belongs to the firstborn. I will claim it.
You can't manage to control yourself. How do you think you could ever control an entire empire? You're no more prepared to lead this kingdom than that damn hound of yours. And you give me no sign you ever will be. Cruelty for its own sake and fits of temper don't befit a monarch. If tradition demands I place my kingdom in the hands of a petulant child, then tradition be damned. I won't allow the mere timing of your sister's birth to prevent the fittest ruler from following me to the Raven throne.
I'm sorry, Father. But I can't let that happen!
You would truly do this?
You leave me no choice.
I should have had you smothered in your cradle.
Yes, you should have.
Father, I realize it's late, but... Braun, what are you doing here? What happened to... Father! It was you! You did this!
Did I, sister? Or was it someone else close to the king who committed this heinous act? Someone with an obvious motive.
What have you become?
I've become king, but at such a bitter price. My father murdered, and the crime perpetuated by my own sister. Shocking to think her misguided loyalty to the underground led her to slay her own father in an attempt to take power. And if I hadn't been able to overcome her, the deaths of her brothers were surely next. I'll blame myself, of course. I'll carry the burden of guilt for not recognizing the Viper in our midst until too late. Such a tragedy when I ascend to the Raven throne. My first duties will be to attend to my father's funeral and my sister's execution.
You're mad! You actually believe you can get away with this?
We already have. You've no hope of stopping what's been set in motion.
You're at the heart of this, my Shen, aren't you? Who and whatever you really are. My brother needs no lessons in treachery, but my father's blood stains your hands just as surely as Braun's. I'll see you dead, witch!
You had the only warning you'll get. I told you. You have no idea who you're dealing with.
When will I be able to do that?
You already can. That and more. I've given you the power. All you need to do is learn to harness it. And I'm a very good teacher.
I always intended to shift the blame to Ashley. Her walking in made it that much easier. I'll summon the guards to have her taken to the dungeons.
What of your brother? Will he present any difficulties?
Court's never been terribly clever. He'll believe whatever I tell him. He's always been terrified something would happen to me. He's never wanted the throne himself. Court will be a boon in all this. Send him here, but tell him nothing. I want him to hear of his sister's treachery from his dear brother's lips. No. In fact, send him to the throne room. Where else would the king be?
Braun? Are you here? My Shen said you needed to talk to me and...
I'm here.
What? What's going on? Why are you sitting on the throne? Is everything all right?
No. Everything's not all right, Court. I'm sorry to have dragged you from your bed, brother. I know you're only recently returned from the field. I'm afraid I have grim news for you. There's been a tragedy.
A tragedy? What?
Father's dead.
Father's dead? How? A Heron plot?
I wish that it were so. No, the deed is all the more horrible because of who is responsible. Our sister!
You're saying Ashley murdered Father? That can't be. There must be a mistake.
No mistake. I came upon her in Father's study, just after she'd beaten him to death. If I'd arrived only a moment sooner, I might have been able to stop her.
But why? Why would she do it?
The underground. Her involvement with them should come as no surprise. It's why she was constantly absent from the keep, and why she killed Father. I expect you were her next target. Then she would have framed me for both murders and taken the throne for herself.
Ashley.
Yes, Ashley. Also, she could further the insane cause of those lesser race vermin. At least she was found out before all of her plan could come to fruition. I'm king now, and this won't go unpunished. Ashley is already confined within the dungeon. Her fate is a foregone conclusion. But the underground itself must pay. The sanctuary is in the north, somewhere near the ruins to which we tracked my escaped slave. I want the sanctuary destroyed as punishment, as a show of Raven strength. You saved my life on the battlefield of Point Corday. Now I need you again, Court. Take a contingent of our troops, find the sanctuary, and raze it to the ground. Will you do this for me, brother?
I am your servant, my king.
This is familiar. And thankfully deserted, considering the din you just raised. Shoot!
I never thought I'd come back here, especially willingly.
Getting inside the keep and knowing where we are is well and good, but we need to know where we're going. We have only a few hours before dawn, and this place is too vast for us to wander until we simply stumble across Braun. Or worse, until he stumbles across us.
I think that's the one. That's where they had us before.
Ethan, what are you doing? You'll give us away! We don't have time for this!
We have to. It's Ashley.